Talofa lava tai ao Manuia from Samoa, this lovely rainy day in Samoa.
Okay. And how are you, Jane?
Manuia whawhatai, I'm well. We've been busy over here with graduation season, so more ula lolly than you've ever seen in your life, but great to be celebrating with our students. So yeah, it's a great, always a great month over here leading up to Christmas.
Did I hear you saying it's raining in Samoa at the moment?
It is, yes. So that's nice, makes it a bit cooler.
Yeah.
Hopefully we won't have any cyclones this season, but we always welcome the rain.
Okay, let's not talk about the rain. Let's talk about the book. Okay,
Yes, sure.
Aleki. I mean, the book is called Aleki. Congratulations. Tell us about the book, Jane, please.
Yeah, thank you so much. And whawhatai lava mole awanoa, I'd like to share my book with you if you, I know it's radio, but
Beautiful,
if you see it
beautiful.
online. My book's called Aleki. This is the sixth book I've written. Actually, I've written
Okay.
5 other children's books that we might have a chance to talk about. But let's talk first about Aleki.
Yeah.
So Aleki was a collaboration with Chief Book Series. You might have heard of them, Whalifitu Tony Laulu
Okay.
and his team at Chief Book Series. And I just loved what they're doing in New Zealand. They're bringing out books set in New Zealand, contemporary stories for young Pacific Island kids to read and at school and at home with their families. So I was really excited to see what they've been doing. They've got quite a few other titles in Chief Book Series. And I contacted Whalifitu and said, I've got this story. It's sitting on my computer. I've got this text. Can we collaborate and do it together? And he said yes. So that was the start of our journey. To publish the book took about a year, actually, because it always takes time for the illustrations. The illustrations were done by Tomasi Greentree, I just love his style and his attention to detail and what he and Whalifitu do to make the books really contemporary New Zealand. So, a child in New Zealand pick up this book. There's Aleki on the front, young guy, looks just like them, looks like their cousins, looks like their brother, and he's on this book, of course, he's at a Toa Samoa parade.
Okay, Jane. Before we talk about what's in the book, let's talk about the name of the book, Aleki. Oh, how did you? I mean, I see. I'm not to see Aleki.
I just chose. I wanted something short. When kids pick up a book, they don't want to read a long title, and we didn't want to give away too much about what was in the book, so we just named it after the main character. His name's Aleki. After I'd written the story, I realized we have a nephew here in Samoa called Aleki and a nephew in New Zealand called Aleki, so must be a popular name, but just short and sweet and just about a young Samoan boy who's living in New Zealand.
Okay. Let me to see how long did it take you to write the book, Jane, please?
I wrote, what happens when I write is I have an idea and I sit on it for a while. I think about it for a long time. And then one day I just sit down and write it. And it's a terrible first draft, but it's a first draft. And then the editing process takes a while. I go back to it. I change it, always trying to tighten it, make it short and sweet, but, exciting for kids to read. So once I had the text, that took me a few months probably. I contacted Whalifitu Tony. And I sent it to him and said, do you like this? And he said, yes, I like it. And I said, I've written it set in Samoa. I want to rewrite it set in New Zealand. So we did that. And then when we first started out, Aleki was actually a Manu Samoa rugby fan. We all are big rugby fans. But then when we had all the Toa Samoa parades, and because I wanted the book to be contemporary, I said to Whalifitu, you know what? Aleki's going to be a Toa Samoa supporter, and he agreed. So we just had to rewrite that part, and it fit. And it was, what's happening in the news. Everyone was involved in parades, whether in Samoa, Australia, New Zealand, and abroad. And we wanted to make it contemporary for the kids. So, just like the rest of us, Aleki's a big Toa Samoa supporter.
All right. Okay, Jane. What's in the book for me, if I want to read, or any other person who will read the book? What's in there for us?
there's a couple of surprises. We always like to keep a couple of surprises in the book, but really it's about a young Samoan guy living in New Zealand who's a big rugby league fan. He plays league, he watches league on TV, he goes to the Tour Samoa parades. League is his life. So if you've got young kids, if you've got nephews, nieces, and they're big supporters, they're going to enjoy reading with you. You know, a lot of what we do is we want parents to be reading alongside their kids. So it's something you're both going to enjoy. The pictures, the illustrations are amazing, just showing the Tour Samoa parades. And then it shows Aleki at school, and he's playing rugby league and he gets injured. So then the tone of the book changes, because what do you do when you're a young league player and you can't play? And what happens in the book, and this is the crux of the reason that I wrote it, is I'm very passionate about reading, and I've been involved here in Samoa with setting up libraries in primary school in our village and helping to get books donated because it's so important for our education. So what does he do? He's on his crutches. He can't bear to watch his friends playing, because who wants to be on the sideline watching? And he sees a Tour Samoa poster in the window of the library. So the librarian says, come on, come in. And he said, oh, you know, I haven't got anything else to do, and do you have any books on rugby league? So the young librarian, she introduces him to books on rugby league, and he finds that in lunchtimes he might as well go to the library, and he starts reading, takes some books home, finds out that he can read, because a lot of kids think they can't. But when you're faced with a book that's about somebody just like you, about something that you're interested in, you're going to want to read. So he starts reading about rugby league, but not only rugby league, he gets interested in Samoan history. It's, you know, when I get this cast off my leg, I'm going to be a better player than all of you because I'm studying, I'm reading about rugby league skills. So that's kind of the story. And at the very end, his leg is healed, and he goes to see the librarian to tell her the good news. And she says, Aleki, you know, are we still going to see you in the library now? And he just laughs and says, yeah, I'll come and I'll bring my mates, but only on the days when it's raining and we can't play league. Because, you know, league is their first love. But when he couldn't play league, he discovered reading and what the world of books can open up for him.
Wow, very nice, Jane. Okay, when is book launch, and when can we find the book in the outlets, in the shops?
So we've just launched this book online. We've started an online campaign. You'll find it under Chief Book Series. Very easy to remember. Chief Book Series on Instagram and on Facebook. I also have a little author page, Jane Batful-Sawanga Author. So because we're contemporary, we're trying to hit the market out there. Those you know, mums and dads that are looking for Christmas gifts for their kids. We released the book just before Christmas. So, you know, as Tony said on one post, you know, your kids have got plenty of toys. So why don't you buy them some books this year? So a lot of the sales are online. They're online under Chief Book Series. You just have to Google Chief Book Series. You can buy them online. There's Afterpay. You can have them posted within New Zealand and Australia at the moment. We'll also be selling them at some different Pacifica markets and things like that. I know Chief Book Series sell their other books like that, and they're available in Poetics Shop, which is in New North Road.
Okay, well, before I let you go, Jane, what were some challenges you were facing while writing the book? Because I'm sure you wrote the book while you were in Samoa.
Yes. I think the biggest challenge is we went to Samoa to visit. We went from Samoa to New Zealand to visit, and I listened really carefully to our nieces and nephews, and now we have great nieces and nephews that age, to hear how they speak, because we want the book to be as contemporary as possible. What would Aleki say? You know, how do they speak? Not a whole lot of slang, but just how do they speak? How do they relate to their friends? How do they relate to their teachers? Because we're very working in collaboration with Chief Book Series. We're very keen on detail, so the dialogue has to be right, the pictures have to be right, it has to be authentic. So when a young Samoan child or any Pacific Island or any nationality in New Zealand picks up the book, they'll go, I know a guy like this. This is me. This is my family. I want to read this book.
All right. Okay, Jane Vafuswanga, Fafitai Telelava, thank you so much. Mole Porkalaman for time foe. And once again, congratulations. Malo lover Saidi Malo. Okay, well, is there anything else you want to talk about before we finish?
Just to say, whawhatai lawa mo le arangoa, na e manuele kurisimasi ma le tausaga fou.
Likewise,
Whawhatai lawa.
Whawhatai Lava. Jane Vafuswanga, o le author o le tusi Aleki. Launch online, o le amo fo I whantusi, whai ana whai tau I eile atu no, tu reader Samoa Swalima, Eva Tolu Amo,